The story starts with a kind-hearted boy named Higashi, who can't ignore his classmate Kurono being treated anymore. Higashi helps Kurono and saves her from the bad people. Kurono tells Higashi that he shouldn't have helped her at all, because now that he has stepped in, the bad guys won't leave him alone. Things are going calm for a second here, but then Kurono makes a 360-degree turn and asks Higashi if he seriously thought she was just a damsel in distress. She says she's more of a femme fatale. To add more shock for Higashi, Kurono tells him that he has captured her heart and suggests getting along from now on. Basically, his good deed becomes a trauma when Kurono shows her true colors. Shocked, Higashi stands there, too stunned to speak. Kurono asks him if he is worried about her injuries, while touching them with a weird look on her face. She says he really is as kind as she had thought. She says she didn't think he would even talk to her again. It would have been smarter to give up on a girl like her, but that's why she likes him. Of course, she doesn't expect them to start seeing each other right away. She suggests starting it all off as friends. After this encounter, they meet again the next day. Kurono is all beaten up by the bad people. Injured, she enters the classroom and greets Higashi, already sitting in the classroom at the time. She says he had thought she would be left alone after he stepped in, but it is actually getting worse now. Higashi looks at her concerned, but Kurono asks him not to make such kind of faces. She is just happy that he helped her out. She says she is really glad she's being tortured for no reason, and asks Higashi not to abandon her. Her tone is clearly too psychotic at this. She comes and sits in front of Higashi. Higashi, weirded out, asks Kurono, "What is she?" She replies normally as if she is an angel. She says she is just a failure as a person. She didn't like seeing people around her fall in love. Everyone who was kind to her eventually got scared and ran away, but then he came along. Again, with that evil, psychotic expression and smiles, Kurono tells Higashi that, for the very first time, she is sure that God does exist. She adds that whatever's happening is wonderful. She loves him. She asks if he is scared of her, and says she won't let him go anyway. She really is some clingy love interest. Soon, people notice the two talking like this sometimes. They ask Higashi why is he even bothering to hang out with someone like Kurono. They also point out the obvious, that he has been acting quite weird lately, and tell Higashi that Kurono is a very dangerous person to get involved with. Higashi tries to explain that he had no choice but to help her out because she couldn't read the room at all. But it is not really the truth, so no one really buys it. The next day, Kurono is asked about her shots. She came to school as a baddie, and she is proud of it. She looks at the boys who are asking each other if she was always a baddie or if something actually happened. Kurono asks them to stop talking about her. She then looks at Higashi and says she will change anything to match his taste. Her hair, her face, or her body, because even if it is just with her looks, she wants him to fall head over heels for her. Her classmates begin to whisper about her, while she sits there as if nothing has really changed about her appearance. They question if this is really Kurono. She has completely changed. Her whole vibe is different. The bad guys wonder if they were too mean to a beauty like her. They say someone needs to talk to her. Kurono listens to them whispering about her and asks them to keep it shut, shocking the bad guys. After class, when Higashi and Kurono get the alone time, Kurono tells Higashi that she is very happy. She didn't like herself before, but he accepted her as she is. She's glad she was born looking like her. The jolly act of hers is quite psychotic. She is changing herself for someone just because she has an interest in, and he helped her out. She asks Higashi, why is she so fixed on him? Kurono then answers her own question without waiting for Higashi to reply. She says she is guessing it is because he helped her. She says it wouldn't be a good enough reason to be fixated on someone. She says she really didn't want to say this, but she loves him because he accepts her twisted feeling. She loves him because he is he. She loves him because he wouldn't just abandon her, no matter how bad she. Every single second, she falls in love with him. Every day, for the rest of her life, she will keep saying that she loves him. After this, they decided to go to school together. One morning, when Higashi leaves his house to go to school, like usual, Kurono is standing downstairs waiting for him. She greets him and asks if he ends up staying late. She asks if that's why he was a little late today. She asks him to hurry up, or they will be late for school. Higashi thinks it is all quite strange, as it is not like they are seeing each other. They are not childhood friends or neighbors. He hasn't told her where he even lives. Now he is wondering, is all of this really going to turn out okay? Things went like this for quite some time until one day one of the guys in Higashi's school was about to beat him up. He asks Higashi what he thinks he is. He led Kurono on and made them all look bad. Higashi tries to explain that he didn't do anything like that, but the bad guy doesn't listen. Just then, Kurono comes to the rescue. She asks the bad guy what is he doing to Higashi, and without waiting for any answers, she beats him up crazily. After that, she starts crying and apologizing to Higashi, stating it is all her fault. She asks him if he is injured. She says she will protect him from now on and not dislike her. Shocked at what is happening, he musters up his courage and assures Kurono that he has understood and tries to make her calm down while asking for help in his thoughts. Some days later, the teacher announces in the class that 4 of their classmates are not here today. They have all transferred to a new school, while students chatter about how lots of people are taking a break, and they are not active online either. They wonder if they are not really on a break. While people are speculating what could have happened, Higashi sits with Kurono terrified. This is because he knows why people are on breaks and transferring all. It is because he really has caught the eye of an unbelievable person like Kurono, who is crazily obsessed with. After class, Higashi asks Kurono why is he being tortured like this. Kurono looks at him and says she has forgotten to tell him anything about this. She says it is a pretty common story. People dislike things that are different. They weren't able to control themselves and ended up acting like that. It was convenient for her, so she just let it happen. She laughs, saying Higashi has really mustered up the courage for her. She apologizes and says this is really what her type is, people like him. Kurono tells Higashi that he looks like a person who will act regardless of the outcome. This makes Higashi think it seems he has fallen right into the trap. Higashi's classmate, who seems to be a Yandare, confessed is so scary that he just can't refuse anything she says. A few days later, Kurono tells Higashi that being friends isn't enough for her. She asks if he doesn't want to try and go out with her. She says if it is a no, it is fine. She still has feelings for him for a while, but she will get over it at some point. With no option left for Higashi as usual, he agrees to go out with her. When she hears him agreeing to go out with her, she begins to cry and apologizes for not being able to hold back her feelings. She says no matter how hard she tries, she just can't hide what she feels. She says she had rather get dumped before she had ended up injuring him, but for her feelings to be returned like this, then she doesn't need to hold back anymore. While she is talking, Higashi is trying to assure himself that she is a good person. He's trying to see somewhat good in her, but he's left in shock when he hears Kurono saying she won't hold back anymore. Like that, the girl Higashi had thought was a Yandere ended up together with him. To his surprise, his life remained pretty normal. While going out with her to have some time alone, he wonders if maybe she really is just one ordinary girl. However, in reality, Kurono is everything but an ordinary. She usually sits on the floor in her room and keeps repeating she loves Higashi. She wonders if it is fine to message him after it has been decided that they are seeing each other. She just wants to see him, take a peek at him sleeping, but she can't. She doesn't want Higashi to dislike him. She thinks she must control herself. Surprisingly, she was quite a pure maiden herself. Higashi's partner, who is someone like a Yandere, is very good at scaring people. He always guesses that she is trying to protect him, but he's been tortured a little. As they walk together, Higashi lets Kurono know that she doesn't have to be so close to her in order to walk. Kurono quickly holds back and says it is a bit necessary. She apologizes and says she didn't mean to get too close. She got carried away. She must have been super creepy. Nervously, she asks if she smells as she is sweating. Higashi thinks her closeness and creepiness are the real problems, while not saying anything to her directly. Every time there is an interaction between the two, Kurono acts very creepily. Just like that one day, Higashi ran into her on his way home from school on a rainy day. When he spots her, Higashi asks Kurono where did her umbrella went, as she's all soaked in water. Kurono says she forgot to bring one, as she is always clinging to it. She didn't want to come off as needy, so she thought she could head home on her own today. Higashi uses his umbrella to cover Kurono from rain. He tells her that she got it all wrong. He says he wants her to rely on him on days like this. He suggests walking her home as they are seeing each other, and luckily, his umbrella should be big enough. Nervously, Kurono points out that like that, they will be sharing the same umbrella. She panics, making Higashi realize that she is surprisingly weak to these sorts of things. The next day, Kurono is again waiting for Higashi to go to school. When he comes out of his house, Kurono asks him if he wants to go out this week. She asks if he is lying. Will he be there waiting for her? After some assurance, she decides to believe Higashi, and they decide to meet tomorrow. While they are talking, a creepy man is looking at them from behind a wall. He is happy to know that Kurono finally found a guy. It turns out he is Isshin Tsutomu, underboss of the Kurono crime family. Isshin hopes that Kurono reconsiders her decision, because Higashi looks like a weakling. He isn't capable of protecting her. He tries to explain all this to Kurono. However, she is busy thinking about what she should wear. Isshin tells Kurono that she really has no idea how important she is. This is the perfect opportunity for him to do her duty. However, Kurono tells Isshin that she doesn't care to hear about his opinion. She says who protects her is none of his concerns. Horrified, Isshin agrees with Kurono out of fear. Kurono asks if he would like to pick out some outfits for her special days. Again, left with no choice as everyone else, Isshin has to agree with her request and take care of the commands as they are. On the day of their outing, the men around her are left in an awe after seeing Kurono. She's tall and looks like a model for... The men gather around her, stating she looks hard to approach and asks if she is alone. They ask if someone is keeping her weight. She looks at them and asks if they have something to say. However, with her crazy expressions, they get terrified and realize they have no shot at her. She is not into mere mortals like them. With that, they decide to leave. At the same time, Higashi comes in, which makes Kurono all happy and joyous. The guys turn around to see Higashi and Kurono and get confused. Higashi tells Kurono that he wanted to get here earlier but couldn't. Kurono assures him that it is fine. She just came too early. She looks at him smiling and says she doesn't usually see him out of uniform. She calls Higashi cute and gets all lovey-dovey. Higashi tells Kurono that she looks stunning too. Blushing, Kurono thanks Higashi, stating she is glad to hear that, while the two men stand there, shocked to see Kurono and Higashi together. They question who is Higashi, with nervousness clearly visible on their face. With that, Higashi and Kurono decide to eat something. When they are sitting and waiting for the food to come, Higashi looks at Kurono, wondering why is she just staring at him without staring at anything. All they have done is normal outing activities like shopping together. He wonders if he messed up somewhere as a partner. He asks Kurono if she isn't having any fun, but Kurono replies saying she is having a great time. Higashi wonders why she's saying anything. Kurono asks Higashi if she's making him nervous. She says she was so focused on burning this moment into her retina that she didn't notice anything else. Higashi says he is glad that she is having fun. He says he got so much new material and decides to put these on repeat after he gets back home. It seems like going out with Kurono will be ending peacefully after some hours. At the end, Kurono asks Higashi if they can embrace each other, even if it is only for like 5 seconds. She says she wants to remember this moment for the rest of her life. Higashi agrees, and the two embrace one another. However, to do so, they have to bend down. Higashi finds this very weird as he thinks it is like mom and a kid embracing each other. After some seconds, he's about to let go, but Kurono doesn't allow him. She says she is happy and can vanish in peace now. Like this, she held on to him with all her might for another 10 minutes. When Higashi finally thinks they will be done for the day, Kurono spots Ishin following them around. She asks him if he is trying to get in their way or something like that. Terrified, Ishin clarifies that that wasn't his intention at all. He says Higashi seemed like a great guy. The two of them looked perfect. Kurono asks him if he is here for what he said. Then he should go back as she is rather busy at the moment. She says she wants to make a voiceroy to Higashi with the lines she recorded. She tried to make him say all 50 kana, but she wondered if this would even work. She says she will also have to dress for the clothes Higashi bought for his new 3-dimensional model, and the clothes he wore today too. She wonders if Higashi would forgive her for making them. She thinks of course he would because this is totally within the boundaries of a normal, healthy relationship. Worried, Isen says it is good to see that she is having fun, while thinking he might have been too late with that. After that, the older brother of Kurono, Ishin, pays Higashi a visit. He asks Higashi how exactly he feels about Kurono. Nervous, Higashi explains that Kurono stands out a bit, but she is a normal girl. He wonders if she is normal despite how scary she can. He wonders if Ishin is a good or bad guy. Isen clarifies that Kurono is normal. He says Hijami is the right one for the lady. He apologizes to Higashi and asks him for his name again. After Higashi introduces himself, Kurono says he is Naoto, which means big mount from now on. The next day, Higashi looks at Kurono, wondering if she seems like she is excluding an overwhelming aura. He looks at her, asking if everything is alright, as she looks a little bit ill. Kurono gets shocked and tells Higashi that his real voice is too much for her ears. She has been staying up late every night listening to Higashi's voice on repeat, while whispering she loves him so much. She says she is persuading her beloved Higashi. She says he really is just as cute in her real life. They just went out together the other day, but keeping this a secret won't be problematic at all. She says she wonders what they will do today, but she would love to see a new side of Higashi. She wonders how she should handle this. Should she just pretend it is a coincidence and call out to him? When she is about to call Higashi, but just then she spots him. He can be seen talking about some holiday thing. He then comes towards the girls, asking if it isn't Naoto, he would have known. He asks Kurono where is she heading. Higashi says buying pretty copies is pretty old nowadays. They decide to buy some cake on the way when Kurono spots them and questions what is he doing there. While eating, the woman asks Higashi why is he with Kurono. Then they decide to have some games to play and then some walk. All this time, the girl keeps asking Higashi why she doesn't like it. She says he knows she isn't like a real partner. This has all been one-sided. She says it isn't like he even really likes he and says that she gets it all. Kurono sits on the side hiding, while she overhears them and wonders why she never liked the concept of marriage. After Kurono calms down, Ishin is a little relieved. He tells Kurono that even though the other woman is her romantic rival, to think she has tried her hands on a civilian. She says if he truly cares about him, then there must be some etiquette for this situation. She cried wondering what she should do to get Kurono back. She says she really does want to know. Her father says it is okay for her to dwell on it, but she thinks asking him honestly about it would be the best, because that is what a proper relationship is all about. Another interaction happened a few days later. Kurono approaches Higashi, saying she just happens to be in the area, and she sees that he seems to be having a blast chatting up with some girl. Higashi tries to explain that she has been mistaken, but Kurono says she already knows. She has taken the liberty to look into her, and it turns out she is his cousin. She starts crying, saying her professional and educational records are perfect, and she is a real beauty who is friendly with everyone. She compares the girl to herself, saying that the girl is definitely more suitable for him. She is more normal than her and cuter too. There's no way for someone like her to compete with Higashi's cousin. Higashi pats on Kurono's head, saying she is his partner. He apologizes, saying he can't really think of what to say to make her feel better. Failing at something like that makes him a pretty uncool partner. Just then, Kurono embraces Higashi and apologizes to him. She says she just can't handle him being with someone else. Her love was just too much. She kept squeezing him while he begged for mercy and to be released as he couldn't breathe. He was released 10 minutes later. When Isen sees Kurono, he is startled by her words. Kurono says who would have thought human emotions could cause so much pain? She cries, saying it turns out she can't meet Higashi after all. Confused, Isen wonders what could have happened. It would have been great if it was something he could fix. Kurono cries a lot and says if she could meet Higashi, she would definitely lose it. Even though she already loves him so much, how is it that she is falling for him more and more every day? Isen asks if she would like to at least take a sojourn until she calms down. But Kurono says she is going. Isen thinks Higashi has his deepest respect for having to handle a girl like Kurono. When they meet this time, Kurono is all about making love to Higashi, as he is so cute, and she loves him so much. She wants to make love to him, but she can't. Because if they did, one of them would vanish because of overstimulation. She thinks she could probably faint. She would also vanish if he ever found out about her indecent thoughts. She is thinking and smiling out of nowhere, which Higashi finds weird. He wonders if she's making all the weird faces and wonders if she is all right. Is this what purgatory feels like? Soon, Kurono becomes somewhat like a celebrity for everyone. Wherever she goes, people talk about looking at her. Was there always a girl like that here? When they find out she's Kurono, they are usually in shock. They used to think of her as a plain girl, but it seems like a bunch of idiots who didn't know any better have been asking her out. She brutally shot them all down. Not only that, it seems like she said that she is going to spend the rest of her life with the same guy from this school. Kurono takes Higashi and decides to eat lunch together. As they walk by those people, Higashi wonders he doesn't know, but for some reason, he feels like he has been getting his share of weird looks lately when he looks at the people. Kurono always helps Higashi out. He thinks as her partner, he should also do something for her. He looks at her, asking if they should try and call each other by their first names. Kurono looks at Higashi, which he finds scary as usual. She starts shaking and denies calling each other with their first names. She says she can't or she will vanish. She asks Higashi to stop going beyond her wildest fantasies. She collapses on the ground and asks Higashi to give her some time until tomorrow. She will train as if her life depended on it, and then she fainted the next day. Isen comes to her with some news about Higashi's cousin after school. Kurono gives a scary stare to Isen. She says to even consider mentioning that woman to her now in her happiest moments. He sure has some nerve. Hesitantly, Isen explains that Higashi's cousin, Shirosaki Keiko, is most likely not an ordinary person. He says he looks into her again, but her records are too clean. No matter how much he dug, he couldn't find any dirt on her. He saw her talking about Higashi getting a partner for himself. Isen says he has come to the conclusion that she is most likely one of their kind. Turns out Keiko is also a Yandare, who wonders what is Kurono doing with an ordinary guy like Higashi after learning about her going out with him. Some days later, Kurono wanted Higashi to introduce his childhood best friend, Keiko. When Keiko comes, she approaches Kurono with all happy faces and joy. She looks at Kurono and asks Higashi if he never told her about Kurono before. She laughs, saying it seems Kurono really doesn't like her, but she can understand where is she coming from. She looks at Kurono, asking Higashi is super cute, isn't he? When Kurono hears this, she wonders if she should have vanished Keiko. She thinks she is right and that Keiko is really her enemy. She looks at Keito with a scary face, and Keiko has the guts to mention Kurono's scary face out loud. On the way home, Keiko cleared opposition at Kurono. Keiko says she didn't want to say this earlier because of Higashi aka Naoto, but she will say it now. She tells Kurono that she is not actually serious about going out with Higashi, isn't she? Kurono questions Keito, what did she just say? Keito laughs, saying she knew it already by her reaction. She says she is so glad. She could tell no matter how Kurono looks at it, it is not mutual. If anything, it is like Kurono is scaring Higashi and taking advantage of him. It kind of feels like she is implementing and pressuring him to go out with her. Kurono tries to deny the allegations, but Keito laughs even more. She asks Kurono if she really thinks she would believe her words. She asks Kurono if she is right about all that going out and seeing each other. Keito says it is just a terrible joke. She knew someone like her wouldn't be able to make Higashi happy, so she hoped someone else could do that for her. And even though she gave up on him, seeing a fox like Kurono put her dirty hands on him, she asked Kurono if she thought she would allow her to do that. Keito tells Kurono that she can have Higashi over her cold, vanished body. Like that, Kurono has been challenged by Higashi's childhood best friend Keito. Keito asks Kurono if she knows what she has been thinking. Her whole fake situation, she asks if she can get it on that. She says there shouldn't be any problem, as it is just pretend. But if Higashi actually starts liking her, she will stop interfering and cheer for Kurono from the sideline. She asks if that sounds good, but Kurono tells Keito that she can't do that. However, Queit doesn't listen to Kurono and suggests calling it all a lovey-dovey. Shocked, Kurono asks Queit what about Higashi. Queit says not to worry about Higashi as she can convince him. Then, Queit confessed her feelings to Higashi, even though he already had a Yandare partner. Queit asks Higashi if he would like to go out with him too, since the two of them aren't actually seeing each other. Higashi denies the request, saying it isn't possible because it will be like he is chading Kurono. Queit says she already had a talk with Kurono. Having two pretty girls is pretty normal now. Everybody is doing it. She says she doesn't have to say it. She loves him to the extent of being vanished away. If that isn't enough, Queit asks, what can she do to convince him? Higashi asks Queit if he can talk to Kurono about it, to which Queit agrees. His best friend might have a few screws loose, he thought, but didn't know up until now she was also a Yandere. He has a phone call with his Yandere partner after seeing Queit. Kurono says she has heard he's going to go out with his childhood best friend as well. She says she's fine with that. Higashi is confused and tries to talk about it, but Kurono says she's already pressuring him to go out with her in the first place, so she can't really judge. If she was in his shoes, she would probably do the same. She hangs up the phone and starts crying brutally. She says she's such an idiot. She says she doesn't like it. She doesn't want this. Queit came to steal Higashi from her. She doesn't want to lose to Queit. Soon, in a few days, Queit transferred to Higashi's school. She came into the classroom saying she transferred only because her darling was in this school. Kurono looks at her and thinks Queit did such a dirty move just. Higashi is also confused and doesn't know what to say. Queit says this is a secret, and she will be his senior, so she will be in his care. With that, she asks Higashi if he could give her a tour of the school. Kurono apologizes for interrupting and says she can understand she is pressurizing Higashi to go out with her and do what she wants, and that she made Queit mad. It is all her fault, and she knows that. But she can't help it. When she met Higashi, she was hopelessly in love with him, so she needs to apologize. She embraces Higashi, saying with that, she guesses she made her position clear. But there is one more thing she has to say. Kurono squeezes Higashi and lets Queit know that she won't give up. She will never give Higashi to Queit. Queit looks at Kurono and says that there will be more Fin then. Kurono asks Queit not to get more comfortable and to try her hardest. With that, Higashi knew that his childhood best friend was Kurono's rival and a yandere like her. Kurono gets all gloomy after that. She is happy she said that, but she also knows Queit is cuter than her and more popular at school. She isn't involved with a yakuza either. Even worse, she is Queit's childhood best friend. She even went out of her way to transfer schools for him. Worried, Isan asks Kurono just what happened. Kurono says it is almost as if isn't she such an idiot. She starts crying per usual and Isan comes to console her. He tells Kurono that she can't just give up. He encourages her to try her best. He says this is just a rumor, but girls like Queit usually tend to become heroines. It is apparently a big trend nowadays. Kurono cries, saying that doesn't make any sense at all. Kurono's rival has appeared, and she is also a yandere. When Kurono goes to school the next day, Higashi apologizes to Kurono. He says he never thought his childhood best friend would appear and say something like that. She always has a few screws loose. Kurono says it is fine. She thinks she needs to go on the offensive and make the first move. She tells Higashi that she has a favor to ask him. Blushing, Kurono asks Higashi if he would like to hold hands like lovers. With that, she just holds his hand, asking if it is fine. Her heart is beating so fast, she can't take this for long. She thinks Higashi's hands are so small and cute. At this rate, her heart will explode, but she is so happy. When Christmas is around the corner, Kurono dresses up as Santa Claus and wishes Higashi a Merry Christmas. She tells him this is the first time she's wearing something like that. She asks if she looks good. It doesn't look weird, does it? She says, as for his present, she will be giving it to him. Confused, Higashi wonders what her present is. For some reason, she's having tea with her rival. Kurono wonders why is she talking to her in such a place like this. Queit laughs, saying it is all right. After all, they share the same guy. Queit adds that she just wanted to ask her something, which she forgot last time. Queit asks Kurono, how far has she gone with Higashi? Shocked, Kurono begins to sweat out of nervousness. She asks Queit what is she saying. Queit says she was just wondering how far should she go with him. Kurono isn't able to hold back anymore and begins making weird faces. Queit notices this and asks Kurono about it. She asks Kurono they have been together for like a month and still haven't done anything. She says Kurono must be joking. She asks about any act of making love to Higashi, but gets no answer. Queit is surprised to know about this. She asks what have they done till now. Hesitantly, Kurono says they have only held hands up until now. She says she is trying her best as well. Confused, Queit apologizes and asks Kurono to hold it. She isn't able to process what Kurono just said. This makes Kurono wonder if this is just a regular maiden in love. Queit apologizes, saying she can't believe it. She's laughing so hard, saying Miss Yakuza's true identity is quite unexpected. Kurono gets irritated by this and asks Queit to shut up. Queit says, who would have guessed she is just a maiden in love? She was so stupid for worrying. She asks Kurono if she truly loves Higashi. Kurono says she loves him so much she could vanish. Queit says she is fine being the second and Kurono can be the legal wife. With that, Kurono decides to confess her feelings to Higashi one more time. She tells Higashi that she likes him. Higashi thanks her for her emotions and lets her know that they are already going out. Kurono says they aren't as Queit told her about something Queit has had for normal people. It looks like goodwill comes before affection. It is because of them that people like them can be saved. But that is exactly why their feelings probably won't be conveyed to normal people. Kurono says she understood what Queit meant, and she realized they never got through. She tells Higashi that he is too kind to her. Higashi confesses saying when he first met her, he couldn't keep his eyes off of her. In that sense, he was interested in her too, because it was the first time she had seen someone seems to be in so much pain. By some stroke of luck, they ended up going out. But he decided he had to go out with her until she was satisfied. Kurono says she knew it was all because of her. However, Higashi says it is all different now. He already knows that she is a really cute person. She was kind of scary at times, but the real Kurono is incredibly pure. She showed him every last one of her cute expressions, so he really started to like her too. Shocked, Kurono begins to cry. She asks Higashi if he really loves her. When he looks at her, he gets worried about her and asks if she is okay, because she is crying brutally. She says she had never had the person she'd like to tell her, even once, that he loved her. Higashi realizes what has been happening to Kurono and embraces her. He apologizes and says he should have said it sooner. Kurono confesses that she loves him while crying miserably in his arms. After some time, Kurono is better than before. She has stopped crying. Higashi asks if she's going to be okay. Kurono says she is kind of woozy. She asks if this is a dream. Higashi assures her that this is reality and not just some wild dream. But Kurono passes out saying she is glad she is alive. After school ends, Kurono bids goodbye to Higashi and leaves. However, turns out it was an emergency situation. She hides behind the wall to catch her breath. At least her wishes had finally been accepted. Her love has gone one step further. She is so happy about it. She utters the words that she loves Higashi so much. Now, somehow, Queit has become infatuated with Kurono. When they meet again, Queit tells Higashi that Kurono is very cute. She feels so silly for doubting her. Higashi is glad that she understands Kurono now. Queit says even though Kurono seems so scary, all it took was a little girl talk and her face turned as red as a tomato. She bites her finger saying she can't get enough. She thinks she might have fallen in love with her too. She sighs saying, what is she going to do about this? Things are to be so much more exciting now. Higashi stands there a little confused, as he has a bad feeling about it. He asks Queit not to do anything weird about it. Soon, Kurono joins them, and Queit hugs her like they are some childhood best friends. Queit suggests going shopping together for some clothes. Kurono asks her to let go of her, but Queit doesn't listen. Kurono asks Queit why should she go with her. She says she didn't approve of Queit in the past. Queit states she is Higashi's childhood best friend, so she will tell her what he likes. With that, Kurono agrees, and the two girls go shopping for clothes. Kurono asks Queit not to just look, but also to help her choose some clothes. She reminds Queit that she was the one who insisted on going shopping together. She says she is very nervous because she never goes to any of these places. She looks at Queit asking her to at least say something, but Queit is more focused on something else. With a throbbing heart, she thinks this is going to be lots of fun. Well, it sounds like the girls didn't buy much. Anyway, later, Kurono is supposed to have a study session at Higashi's place. She wears some clothes she had bought with Queit, while wondering if these clothes definitely don't suit her at all. Such pretty clothes. She has never worn these. She wonders what should she do if Higashi gets repulsed by her. She knocks at the door and soon Higashi opens it. He is happy to see her. When he looks at her, he's overjoyed by how amazing she is. He compliments Kurono and tells her that she looks cute today. Blushing, Kurono's mouth opens wide when she hears such beautiful words from the love of her. She says she isn't looking cute at all, but that made her happy. Just then, Queit calls Higashi, letting him know that she might not be able to come today because she thinks she has an emergency. She asks them to go ahead and study hard for her. Higashi agrees, and with that, Kurono and Higashi get to study alone. Kurono asks Higashi if they should start studying, as it was already planned. Kurono came for a study session at his house, as decided. When she comes inside the house, Higashi's mom greets her, stating that she is Higashi's partner. She is very surprised by Kurono, and like that, for some reason, Kurono was already friends with Higashi's mom. Higashi's mom tells him that Kurono is a student in her cooking class. She is a very good girl. On the other hand, Kurono had no idea that this was Higashi's mom. Her heart is beating fast because of nervousness. She started going to cooking classes so that her loving partner, Higashi, could enjoy her homemade cooking. It is kind of a miracle that Higashi's mother worked there as a teacher. She was just trying to work hard for her cooking to be good. Higashi's mom apologizes for talking and taking their time. She apologizes for interrupting them and lets them know that she is going to head out. She wishes them good luck with their study session. They bid goodbyes to the mother, and after that, Higashi says it is time for them to study. Nervous, Kurono smiles at Higashi while sweating. She tries to calm herself by thinking this is Higashhi's room, but it is fine. There's nothing she can do. There is nothing she can do at all. Higashhi asks again if they can start studying. When Valentine's Day came, Kurono came to see Higashhi. She tells Higashhi that she definitely wants to give him something. She has been waiting for 3 hours now. She asks if he would accept her gift, the Valentine's chocolate. Higashhi takes the chocolates, and Kurono is glad to see he accepted her gift. She says she was vanishing for him to receive her gift. She adds that there might be some weird stuff in it, but she hopes he will go ahead and eat those at home. Confused, Higashhi asks what she say. He's confused about what does that mean, but she doesn't say much after that.